Hello and welcome back to the Doctor's Garage here on YouTube. In this video today, I'm going to be telling you why I think my Land Rover Series 1 is the ultimate summer car. In this video today, I'm going to be showing you round my 1957 Land Rover Series 1, showing you some of the features now it's had its top removed, and finally we're going to be going for a drive so you can see how it handles on the road. So let's start by having a look around my Series 1, talk about some of the features that I've found and some of the things I've discovered since owning it, which has only been about a month probably. So if we start with the front, we've got things like the capstan winch, which is very cool, and I'll show you that running in a minute. I have put a rope around it at the moment. It's definitely probably not the right type of rope, but it looks quite cool on there. I'm going to show you that running when I get the engine started in a minute. Some things I've found that I need to do to this car since having it, I've actually changed my mind quite a lot about kind of doing anything too aggressive with it and kind of retaining a lot of the original character, which I know a lot of you here on YouTube will be very, very pleased to hear, rather than me trying to spray it Nardo grey or whatever my first idea was when I got this car. So you can see things like this part is not painted. I don't think you can see it in the light, but this is black. And it's also had a non-original bonnet put on it, and also one of the front wings as well is non-original. It's been resprayed at some point, but this still has the patina on it, which is really, really nice actually. And I am in time starting to appreciate the car for what it is, and I really like the look of it. I want it to be mechanically sound, but cosmetically I'm just going to do a few things to it, but not too much. I don't want to restore it and repaint it and kind of get it looking like some kind of like concourse car. I want it to still look quite rough and ready, and I actually like things like this where you can see the aluminium shining through when it's kind of been rubbed out over the years that it's been there. So going to keep a lot of his original features on it, which I know many of you will be glad to hear. So if you follow the channel, you'll know I've recently fitted a new coil to this, a new point system, and I've also fitted a new electric fuel pump, which is working phenomenally now. It's a lot better than the old system. I have taken the old one out, and I'm going to look at getting that repaired and keeping it if I ever do decide to sell this car. So from the side, you can see this is probably the best side because it's all the original paintwork through here, which just looks pretty cool actually in the sunlight. And going in here, I've taken the door tops off now, so these doors literally just open. And one of the cool things about these cars is you can open them all the way forward here, but when they're opened here as well, they also just lift off, so you can strip this car down in no time at all and have it like that. I mean, for me at the moment when I go around corners, I feel like I could easily just slide out the car, but very cool to have all the sides off and the screen down, which I'll show you in a minute. Go around the back of the car. The thing that still bothers me with this car is the arches and the wheel setup. You can see a bit of chassis there. Definitely needs new shocks and new leaf springs, I believe, at some point. But one of the things that bothers me is just they're still quite skinny, quite small. And you can see from the side, they don't really fill the arches very well. And these tyres have perished. They're not very good on the road at all anyway at the moment. So I'm going to look at getting slightly beefier wheels and tyre setup. Let me know in the comments below any recommendations for tyres and wheels that look good for a Series 1. Interested to hear your thoughts. I spoke to a few guys that have got a Series 1. I have a few ideas myself, but it'd be interesting to hear what you guys think. From the back, very cool looking now with the roof down. For some reason, I've got loads of ropes on the car. Not really sure why. Found them in the garage. Thought they looked cool, so started to tie ropes on things so you can see on there. I'm not entirely sure what these were for. Maybe is it a spare wheel? I'm not sure, but there's some hooks and things there that I've tied it onto. The back here, drop down tailgate. Very nice little feature we've got here. And I like it that it's still got a lot of the original parts on. I imagine these chain covers were original at some point, and I'm getting quite into just having it staying as it is, to be honest, rather than doing a lot to it. Going around the side as well, still got some of the points here actually that I've left on that I haven't taken off when I took the roof off, but I believe there's a bolt under there you can remove to take them out, so that would be the next step. Go around this side of the car, we've got a bit of damage on this side, you can see in the bodywork, but again I think it adds character. I'm not too bothered about taking it out at the moment. And then inside some things that probably need a bit of attention. Steering wheel doesn't bother me hugely, but I know you can send these Series 1 steering wheels away to be kind of retrimmed and redone. So I could do that, or to go for like a wooden heritage wheel. Obviously keep this if I ever want to put it back to original, but I've been thinking about doing that too. Not entirely sure at this stage right now. And then we're back round to the front. So let me show you some of those features that I've mentioned and some of the things that I think are quite cool. If you don't have a series car, or you're thinking of getting a series car for the summer, I can highly recommend it. It's been a very fun experience so far, if not a little bit, I don't know, a bit scary at times, having the whole thing break down within owning it for only a few days, but it's been quite rewarding as well, getting it sorted. So one of the things I really like is how easy it is literally to take apart. So, for example, you take them off there, this bit off here, and these things just pull forward, if I can do it. And once you do that, the whole screen tips forward, which is very cool. So you can drive around like that. Haven't done much driving like that because, to be honest, it's quite breezy in your face. Now, I know I've seen Island Rovers, Conrad from Island Rovers has got like a little screen that just clicks on there, like a small little wind deflector. If you know what that is, or where you can buy one of them, let me know again in the comments below, because I'd be interested in doing that. But that, to me, is the coolest summer car you can pretty much buy. All flat roof off like that, kind of original looking. I really, really like how it looks. As far as summer cars go, I don't really think you can get anything cooler than that. Some of the other features that you'll see in here, we've got a full original working low-high gearbox. You can change it from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive. That all works. I've also found I've got an overdrive here as well. I'm not sure what kind of overdrive it is. I know Fairy did quite a few, but the overdrive system is very cool. So when you get going and you get into the final gear in it, gear 4, you can put the overdrive in, and it certainly drives a little better. Got a few extra bonus features with the truck as well, such as this nice little llama mat, which came from the previous owner. So still keeping that in there for now. So overall, really pleased with the truck. But let's get it started and let me show you some of the kind of workings, such as that front winch when we get it going. You just need this little key here. I've got my very cool key ring that I got from Floyd & Company. Go check them out on Instagram if you don't already. They've got some really cool little bits of gear, such as clothing, but also the key rings as well, which I think quite suit Land Rovers in general. So key goes in here, turn it on. You hear a tiny bit of that fuel pump. And then there's a little starter button right down there. Thought it wasn't going to start then, but there you go. It's back in action. Fuel gauge is working, ammeter's working. So we're all good, and the car is now running. So, let's turn that indicator off. So this is the indicator stalk here, you can see. And that is not self-cancelling, so you always forget to leave it on. But one of the things I'm quite impressed with this car is that all the lights work on it. Front, rear, more so probably than even my Defender, to be honest. Loose screw there, not sure what that's about. So looking at the front now, what you can do with this winch is click it on and off with this. If I click it on, how cool is that? So it's got a fully working capstan winch in that, and also it's got a prop shaft there as well, which you can connect, I guess, bits of machinery to at some point. I believe that's sort of what you have on a tractor, at the back of a tractor, but I'm no farmer. I've no idea about farming, so sorry if that's offended any of the farmers watching this, but you can put machinery into there and then it spins around and you can power certain things. But I think that's a really cool feature to have on the truck, and I know that's actually quite unusual on a Series 1, I think, to have a capstan winch. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I think that is, and then you click it off with that. So really cool that it's got that, and I quite like it. I'm not sure how to use a capstan winch yet, but I'm going to do some research on that because I believe there is some information out there. So, as you can see, my Series 1 runs beautifully now. It actually works better than when I first got it and it was running. Some of the things probably do need doing are like these seats. You can see, definitely seen better days. I mean, I would definitely keep these seats, but I think I need some new ones. Starter handle just there that came with the truck. And also this little wooden stick, which I did ask on Instagram. I did ask on Instagram, what is this? And I got some very interesting answers, none of them which were related to my Series 1. Go check that out on my Instagram if you haven't seen already. So I put the windscreen up on my car, so let's go for a drive and I'll take you with me. So let's put the ignition on. Good to go. It's actually surprisingly easy to drive this car. I think, by the looks of it, it's going to be quite difficult with the gear stick being so slack. But actually, when you get going in it, it's not too bad at all. definitely doesn't do well when you get onto the bigger roads, but the smaller country roads, it's actually quite a lot of fun. And it's got a 2.25 petrol engine, which is the original engine for this car. And this is actually the original engine block. It's got matching numbers on it, and it's actually nicely punched in for such an old car, particularly when you drive around like this, where you literally can almost fall out of the car. You definitely feel like you're going quicker than you actually are. I've had this car up to about, believe it or not, 50 miles per hour, kind of down a hill, with a bit of tailwind, but it does go, and you can get it up to about 40 comfortably on a main road. So it's not too bad, to be honest. It's certainly better than I thought it was going to be. The only problem is it hasn't got the synchro gears when you're moving down from third gear to second gear. It's not that easy. But look, on these roads, it does sound awesome as well. You can really get going on it, and you can sort of throw it about a little bit, which I was not expecting with a car like this. It is a bit bumpy, and I think probably changing the springs is going to be something that I'll want to do quite soon. This is third gear, and then going back to second, you'll see you have to really slow down so you're just about at the right speed. Click it in, there's definitely a knack. I hope that's been an interesting insight into my Land Rover Series 1. If you don't already, subscribe to our channel, check out my Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video.